Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. We've got a guest for you this morning. This is a lot of you know him probably members of his channel, Anthony Pettit with Georgia Sunbelt, and we talked him into coming on. And good morning, Anthony.
Morning.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
And anyway, we'll let Steve run through the lineup up here.
Oh,
he likes to do that.
Well, first of all, I got to turn down the volume on my iPad. Then I got to get Gus out of the way. And then, okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, John Tanzillo, John, Schuylkill River Valley. We got lots of Johns. Bernard C., Almar. We got Alley Cat in there with Steve Anderson. Hey, Steve. How's it going? Rob T-Man. Did I say you, Rob? And let's see. I think that's it.
Jerry's here.
Oh, there's and we got Dave, BNSF, and Scale.
Scale, yeah. And I'm sure a couple others will show up. Well, there's Joe Rader just popped in.
Okay.
Good morning, guys.
I must have a delay because I didn't. Oh, there's Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. There
we
got Bill.
I just got the notification.
Yeah, it pops up on mine afterward too. Well, part of that is the delay between StreamYard and YouTube. There's always a delay. It's never right on. So anyway, we can't ever tell exactly who's still here when they say they're leaving or something. Because I see the chat probably quicker than YouTube sees it because I see it on here, but there's still a delay in it.
Dennis, Otter Creek, and Rio Grande. Good morning.
Hey, Dennis.
We were talking about you.
Oh, Dennis is sick.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, Dennis.
Oh, that sucks.
Get better, guy.
Of course, Gus says good morning.
Yeah, Gus always says good morning.
That's always it.
He says, you keep doing that and I'll be happy.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, we're talking with Anthony, and he doesn't. I think you said you didn't have internet out in your train room, so isn't that why you couldn't go out? Or you didn't get good reception out there?
Oh no, it's in my basement. I just don't have cameras down there. Like everybody's got the camera set up to show my train room. So
okay, not a problem. So I'm gonna start off with the obvious question that everybody always gets asked: how'd you get in the hobby?
How did I get in the hobby? way back. Well, it wasn't when I got in the hobby, but as a kid growing up, I lived probably a stone's throw from the Georgia Railroad in a small town, Thompson, Georgia. And I used to see trains all the time. And for some reason, I fell in love with trains. Don't know why, but I always liked trains. And it took a while for me to get the space and the money and the time to start working it. So,
yeah, I think that's the norm for most of us. Yeah.
Yeah. I did get some train sets when I was a kid, the Tyco stuff. Me and my brother used to set them up on the dining room table and run them, but always loved trains.
Yeah. Until Mom made you take them down. Yeah.
Yep.
So you picked your layout is based basically on what you saw as a kid?
Pretty much. Even though I live in Maryland, I've been trying to mimic Georgia scenery, the way I grew up with the red clay. I don't know if anybody's seen me make my red clay from the True Scene stuff. So, yeah, pretty much, Georgia Railroad. My grandfather worked Georgia Railroad. He helped build it. He was a Gandy dancer on that when it came through South Georgia. And so that's just the railroads I saw and grew up with, not the Georgia, I'm sorry, the central of Georgia and the Savannah and Atlanta. So that he lived right close to those in the town that he lived in. So this is just what I grew up liking.
Wow. So
I understand that.
So when did you start your railroad? Is that your first one or have you had more than that one?
No, this is my very first one. I started. See, after I moved into this home, sometime, I think 2015. And I started with just doing a sort of a shelf type layout in the basement. I mean, it was, and I was working on that, and I had just using any rail to do a track plan. And so I started doing that, and I didn't even know about YouTube. It was probably a year later or so before I even knew about YouTube and model railroads. And I worked on it for maybe a year and a half, and then some of you know that my wife died of cancer, and so she contracted cancer in 2017. So I kind of like put it away for 2017 and 2018, and then I started back after that. And after sometime in late 2018, I think I actually started working on it again. So
yeah.
What are the dimensions of it? It looks pretty big.
Well, right now it's like the full length of the room is 23 feet. So it's,
wow.
I'm sorry, 23. 30 feet. It's 30 feet in length, and the widest it gets is, I think, it's 12 feet.
Wow.
And there's a section because it's a very odd shaped room that I built it in the basement, and so there's a section in there where if I wanted to do a full loop, the aisleway kind of cramps down to maybe 2 feet for me to do a full loop. So I would say it's 12 by 30, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the same kind of problem I had with my train room. Yeah, mine's a L shape, and there's part of it I couldn't use. So I know how that is when you're trying to fit a plan in and get something what you want out of what room you got. It's not always easy.
Yeah, I stopped using any rail when I started expanding it, because in one area there used to be a big workout weights and stuff. My son used to work out there. And after he went off to college, and it was just collecting dust, so I sold it. And then I started expanding my layout into that area.
Well, usually when the kids go to college, you make a workout room out of their room. You did the opposite.
Well, he has a basement. His bedroom is in the basement. It's all empty now because I gave him his bedroom furniture, and but I can't go into that room because I have to go down a hallway. You know, it's not like it's adjoining the layout room, so I can't do that.
So, if y'all got any questions, throw them out in chat. We can forward them on to Anthony. Hey, Sparky. Good morning.
Yeah, Sparky came in. Lee came in. Who else came in? It was
Dwight Curley.
Dwight Curley, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys. We're talking to Anthony Pettit with the Georgia Sun Belt. So if you guys have any questions for him,
Roy Elson.
Yeah, put them out there and excuse me.
Otherwise,
and we'll see if he'll answer it. You have to put it that way, Anthony. Otherwise, you're going to get some stuff that we don't want on here. No, they're a pretty good group. We get pretty much the same bunch of people on here, so they're pretty well behaved. We've never had really only had to kick one or two people out in 2 years, so I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, we had spam last week that Sparky had the time out.
Yeah. So okay, here's a question from Dennis. What's your favorite part of the hobby, Anthony?
The favorite part is I've been trying to learn to do scenery, and I'm finding I really like that. So it's quickly becoming the favorite part of my hobby right now is doing scenery.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. Once I got into it, I was afraid to start it because I'd never done it before, and then I started doing it, and I'm like, this is kind of fun. And finding out that the more random it is, the better it looks.
Yeah.
You know, I think we get hung up into making stuff try to look too perfect, and when you do that, it never looks real.
Yeah.
So. But I'm finding out I like doing some of the detail stuff, and I can't wait to get more into that because I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I've already collected to put on the layout, but I can't do it until I get the buildings put in and some of the scenery put in, stuff like that. So,
okay, we got a couple questions. Jerry wants to know your favorite railroad, and let's see, what did I go back? Do you ever run any op sessions? Question by Rob T-Man.
Well, my favorite railroad is Southern, even though I grew up next to the Georgia Railroad, I still saw a lot of Southern stuff in my area. And earlier, I think before Jerry came on, I was talking about Savannah, Atlanta, and the central of Georgia, where my grandfather was a Gandy dancer, and I saw a lot of those trains too in his hometown. So those are my favorites. But out sections, haven't run any out sections. I don't know if anybody even has a model railroad near me in my hometown, in my area. Darren from B&H, probably about, 15 miles from me.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's where he was.
Yeah. But no, I haven't run any, haven't had any out sessions, but the layout it's big enough, and there's different areas. This probably can have maybe 4 to 5 people if I were to ever do an op session. It can handle that many.
Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're close to Jerry Satterley too, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been up to Jerry's in Philadelphia area. I've been up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
He's further
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Yeah, and Ray Bobell's not too far. I've been up to his place. He's probably an hour and 15, 20 minutes from me. And Joe Rader's not too far. I don't think. I haven't been to Joe Rader's place, but I met him up at a Timonium train show, so he's in the area too. So.
Well, Sparky wants to know when you're going to invite everybody over for pizza and running trains.
Anytime. Now, the one thing I've got to do though, I run NCE, and I have a wireless cab, and so I do have some. I forgot what you call those things, the numbers that you can do the plugins. I have them, but I haven't installed them. So if anybody don't have wireless cabs, I got to install those first before you have plugins to also run, for other people to run.
Well, at least you're fairly close to some people that have railroads. And I know there's some here in Tulsa area probably that have them also, because they do have an HO club here, but I don't know any of them. I've never reached out to any of them or anything like that. N-Scale's much bigger here than the HO is. But I am going to go out and see Dennis at Otter Creek. That's a warning, Dennis.
Yeah.
I got to get with him and find out when I can come out and visit with him and see his layout, because he's doing narrow gauge also, which is what I do mainly. So that'll be fun to do if I can get out there. I bought his. Oh, by the way, guys, Dennis has been published in the annual HON 3 annual 2021. He's got a nice article in there on his time saver layout that he built. So that's a plug for you there, Dennis. I got to work up my brownie points.
There you go. Well, Dennis said just let him know, Claude.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get with you, Dennis. You get better first, man. Anyway, I had a question I was going to ask you. And just went.
Well, Lehigh River subdivision, Anthony can cook, though. I want his cooking, not pizza. You're going to have to elaborate on that one.
So Steve Anderson asked if you were going to go to the Virginia Beach train show, but if you want to answer the other question first.
I don't know when that is. When is it?
I don't know.
I know
answer that one for us.
I know there's one in Timonium, February 6th and 7th, something like that. Yeah, January 6th and 7th. I was going to go there, but my brother decided to have his wedding that weekend. So I'm going to end up being in Seattle, Washington at my brother's wedding. And I wanted to go to Amherst, which is the weekend before that. But since I'm going out, I decided, oh man, I can't do both of them right now. So
yeah,
because I loved Amherst. I went in 2019 was the last time they had it before now. Yeah, in 2019, man, I enjoyed that.
Jerry Satterley says it's today in Virginia Beach.
I guess I'm not going to make it, Jerry.
That would be a no.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it. I have lots of relatives down there. I had a free place to stay and go to the train show. Shucks.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I wish we had more around here. We don't have very many. They have one in Oklahoma City that's pretty good. It's usually the first weekend in December, which is not it's not a great weekend, but it's tough to get to that one.
Got Digger in chat too. Good morning.
Yeah, I think
Allie says she's got a train show in June. If you want to fly to Australia.
I don't know.
I don't know if, not sure you can get into Australia right now.
They won't let me in.
Yeah.
Anderson wants to know when you're going to Seattle.
When? I'm going the 4th of February.
Because that's where Steve's at. It's in Seattle.
Oh.
Well,
I think just outside of Seattle, isn't he?
Yeah. Depends on which Steve you're talking about.
Anderson.
I knew that.
Yeah, the 4th of February, and but my brother actually lives down on Whitby, so he lives almost a couple hours, actually, from the airport.
Don't like coffee, huh?
Yeah.
John Tanzilla wants to know, what is your favorite locomotive?
SD40-2s.
There you go.
SD40-2. Yep,
Yeah.
that was my favorite too.
I've got a ton of those, but even though I have wandered away and got some. I've got one SD70 Ace, and only because it's a Savannah and Atlanta locomotive from I forgot what was the company that just went out of business. I forgot the name of the company already.
I don't know.
Yeah, the 40-2s was my favorite to have as a lead. They were awesome locomotives. Yeah. They rode really well. They just rode really nice.
Yeah. And
Bernard says he never knew. So you have a newbie. You just subscribe.
Thank you, Bernard.
Yeah, he's got some good content on there. You guys should subscribe. I do believe his link is in the description of the video of the channel. So go down there and you can get right to his page.
Yeah, I've been throwing some pictures and stuff now out on my my Facebook page too. It's Georgia Sunbelt. Sunbelt being one word in Facebook. So.
Yeah, I've gotten more and more off of Facebook, so I barely get on there anymore. But
that's about all I do.
Yeah, if families put something on there, that's when I get on there because they're all on it. All the younger family is on it. Yeah. Lee wants to know what got you in the train hobby. He already told us, but if you want to tell Lee,
you want to hear the whole story again?
I'll give him the short one.
I give him the short one. Grew up next to the Georgia Railroad. Always liked trains. Mom and Dad used to I had a few Tyco sets when I was a kid, but still, wasn't able to build a layout, and I actually didn't get started building a layout till 2015, I think, 2016. I forget what year that was, somewhere back there. But always loved trains growing up next to them. And so.
Bernard wants to know if you have or like steam.
I do not have any steam. I do like it. But I don't know, for some reason, I just don't run. I mean, I just haven't had an interest in getting it, but it's not that I don't like it. I just haven't had an interest in getting it because I've been trying which is not happening, but trying to stay in the late 80s and 90s time frame.
Trying to stay in a time period. Yeah, I can understand that.
Dennis,
Allie says, so for the newbies, what scale are you modeling?
HL.
Dennis wants to know what your least favorite part of the hobby is.
My least favorite part is wiring.
I think that's the bottom for everybody.
It's not so much that I don't mind crawling into the layout doing it. It's just I'm always afraid of screwing something up.
Don't worry about it. Because invariably I'll do some new track, and I just have come to expect a short the first time I fire it up, and then I got to spend an hour looking for the short. It's usually a gap I didn't put in the DCC somewhere, But Dennis is right there with you. He hates wiring.
Yeah, unless you leave a spacer on your track and short out your yard, right, Dennis? What was that little piece that you found that you had to take off?
Yeah, yeah. I got a little more comfortable with it when I had to put in a bunch of frog juices for my my Emmy yard ladders, which got me a little bit more comfortable. And then I've got signals I got to put in. I've got switch 8s I want to use for automating some of my switches, and it's just I just haven't done it yet. I just got to get under there. I started doing it, but I hadn't completed it.
Let's see here. Oh, Dennis, very common answer. Yeah, if you've seen Dennis's channel at all, he's wiring up his staging yard and stuff on the big layout. It's after he did the time saver.
Yep.
But he's got the right idea. Do it like that. If you've got the room to flip it over and do all the wiring on there and then flip it back over.
No, I made that mistake. I'm not going to do that.
Well, I don't have the room either. Now I will be doing it on my upper deck on the main parts of my upper deck. I'll be doing that because it'll make it just a lot easier because I can't reach it from below anyway. So to do track work and stuff. So it'll get track work and wired and then put up there and then I'll scenic it once it's up.
Yeah, Gussie.
Lee says, thanks, Anthony. You put a good vid on your channel. I've been sub for some time now.
Yep. Thanks, Ann. Oh, thanks, Lee. Yep, I know.
Dennis says, frog juicers are nice. Yeah, they are.
Yep.
Especially when you put them in a blender. Oh, here you go. He said, yeah, Bernard says we could be like Heath and expect smoke. Now, smoke's not a good thing when you're wiring.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had that problem yet.
Yeah. That's the nice thing I found, though, with the DCC. Everything I've done, if I screw up, all it does is short, and then it shuts it off. So
Ali says expect snow, and you'd be pleasantly surprised if there isn't any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing some lighting, and I'm using in some spaces. I'm using the Woodland Scenic system, and those little wires are driving me nuts. With
I'm not using those and using that little bitty tiny wire and trying to get it soldered to resistors and stuff for LEDs. It's just like, especially when you're under the layout.
I can get some of the lights to work, and some of them don't, and it's like, oh, geez, why isn't this one not working? It's in there. Why is it not working?
Well, on the Woodlands, I don't know because I've not used those. Of course, they got the plug on them, don't they?
Well, they got the plug on them, but like the street lights, you have to put the little tiny wire into I don't even know the electrical term. It's like these little. You put it into like a little thing that will hold the wire. I don't even know the right term.
Terminal strip?
It's not a terminal strip. It's you push it and you slide the wire into it.
Oh,
and then let go. I don't know what you call those things. Anyway, and it's like it's in there. Most of them, I get 3 out of 4 or 5 working, and then I'll try and figure out which one's not working. And when I get that one working, one of the other ones aren't working. I'm like, geez,
Well, one of the things I found out on the LEDs is a lot of times they won't light if the wires are on there the wrong way.
Yeah.
I've noticed that even on my LED tester, if you put them in the wrong port, they won't light. And so I got real frustrated with some of them, and I was, throwing them across the table when I was checking them. And then I checked it, and this one worked. I said, okay, now that one worked. Stick the other one back in there. Now it works because I put it in the same way I had the one that was working. And you go, okay, that's the problem. I was putting them in there backwards.
Roy,
so
know when your next layout update is.
Oh, this month. I've been doing some stuff and filming it a little bit. Actually, I'm going to hopefully get 2. I'm going to get 2 videos out before the end of the month. And one is I call it small projects, a bunch of little stuff I've been doing. One is just a regular layout update overall of other things I've been doing. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks, you'll see that.
Okay.
Let's see here. Steve Anderson says he hates stripping those little wires.
You got to get a wire stripper, Steve, like this.
Well, if he's talking about the
Woodland Scenic, you have to strip them.
The magnet wire or something like that. Yeah, I was watching somebody, and the easiest way was with the soldering iron. Just hit it right on the tip, and it comes right off.
Huh.
But I've not used any of that wire yet. That's that real small stuff for the nanos and smaller LEDs. Yeah, okay. John Tanzilla says he uses his fingernails to strip the wire on the magnet wire. And I just bought some new wire, hookup wire that's very small. It's bigger than the magnet wire, but it's smaller than, say, 28 gauge.
Yeah.
This thing is great. Get one like this. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
That works.
Oh, yeah.
That does even the little tiny phone wires. Little bitty things.
Yeah, Dennis says you can use a lighter too. Yeah, that'll work, and that works good on the smaller wires. You just don't want to get them too hot because you'll melt the wire.
I've seen people scraping with a razor. I was like, how do you do that and not cut right through the wire? You know?
Yeah, you got to be very careful with it. Because I'm one of those that'll try something like that, and you put too much down pressure on it, boy, you'll slash right through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was watching I gotta find it. I saved it in my videos. Someone was doing some lighting, and I can't remember what this thing called, but it's like a terminal strip, and it already has resistors in it. And all you have to do is just hook up the wires to the strip. Works fine. And I got to find the videos because I need to order some of those things. That seems to make a lot simple to do the lighting and stuff.
I've seen some of that stuff on like on eBay. Most of my LEDs I got from a guy on eBay. Some of them come from California. Some of it, I'm sure it's all coming from China eventually. But I haven't had one LED that I've gotten out of the bunches that I've tested that hasn't worked, except when I hooked them up backwards. But they've all worked great, and I've been putting them in my buildings. That proves to be tough because I'm doing those Craftsman kits, but trying to get the wire in there and back out and down where you can get it through the table without it, showing too bad. But I saw, one minute, I saw a question I was going to put up here, and now I've lost it.
Good morning, Bill.
Well, I lost it. I can't find it. I was going to ask you a question though. Do you have anything on your layout that's animated, whether it's other than lighting?
Nope. No.
No turning signs or.
No, I don't have any of that stuff. No.
How about your locomotive roster? How many locomotives do you have?
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
I got more than I need. Put it that way. I've probably got about. I'm guessing. I'm thinking here. I probably got about 12 SD40-2s and a couple of 70 M's. I've got some -9s. I've got some C30-7s. Total, and I just pre-ordered the scale trains, the Southern ES44 that they're coming out with, the ES44, the Southern Green. So I pre-ordered that one and a couple of more. So by the time I'll probably end up with about 30 or so.
You got more locomotives than rolling stock.
I got more rolling stock than I need to.
What's your least favorite locomotive?
Least favorite? I don't know if I got a least favorite. I would say that matter of fact, I just ordered 2 Gevos, pre-ordered 2 Gevos. I would say they're not my least favorite, but all the Gevos seem to look alike to me. Maybe I don't know all the little distinct differences, but all the Gevos seem to look alike. And I would say if there's a least favorite, it's that, because I can't tell the difference between them, versus the older locomotives. You can look at them and say, oh, that's that. But for me, for the Gevos, it's just like, they all look the same,
Okay. Well, Rob wants to know your least favorite one that doesn't run.
My least favorite one that doesn't run. All of them run. I don't know the answer to that one.
Well, Dennis says you may have a problem.
Yeah, I got a problem.
I think that goes for everybody in here.
Least favorite one that doesn't run. Oh, they all run.
They all run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and Allie says no one buys a Loco that isn't one they like.
Yeah.
That's true.
You always have one that runs like crap, though.
Yeah, there's always one that's not your favorite or your least favorite. And I've got some of those. But yeah, she's right about that. You don't buy it unless you like it or you think it'll go good on your layout usually.
Yeah.
Oh, John Tanzilla, you need to seek therapy. He's got 92 diesels.
Oh,
Holy, yeah.
Boy,
John's got a huge layout too. Yeah. I didn't realize until I watched his last update how big his layout was. But yeah, he's got a lot of room to cover.
Yeah, Dennis says, yes, my name is Dennis and I'm a trainaholic.
Yeah. I keep telling myself I'm not going to buy any more rolling stock. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I don't need any more. But as soon as I see something, like I just saw some Walthers, were they train? I forgot what the train lines or something. There were some Southern lumber cars. They had like 4 or 5 road numbers. I'm like, so I ended up ordering those.
Lehigh River Subdivision says he's an alcoholic.
He's an alcoholic. Now that's something I don't have.
An alcoholic.
Although I like them, I just don't have any. So.
Yeah, and Dennis is saying he's also N scale correct. I think he's talking about John, not John Tanzillo, not you. Because John Tanzillo is N scale.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, yeah, he can get more track in a space, but he's still got a big layout.
Yeah. Yeah.
And N scale locos are not cheap either. The good ones are not cheap either. So.
Yeah, I like John's passenger trains he runs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he's doing the Tulsa station.
Yeah.
Which I live in Tulsa. So I saw him doing the railings for the bridges over the tracks, which are still there. Mm-hmm. And I used to drive by those every day almost when I was plumbing. And yeah, he hit them right on with his 3D printer on those.
And John's got 20 steam engines plus his diesel.
Steam engines. Wow.
Rob, that's what's bad about going to train shows.
You're obviously not married.
You say you don't need this until you see it, and then it's mine.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I say we all have a problem with that as far as that's concerned.
Yep. I left him on last time with 3 pulpwood cars. So.
Well, Dennis I was watching one of his, and he was doing his locomotive roster, and I'm going, oh, mercy. There's a little bit of money right there. Yeah, because the narrow gauge stuff is not cheap. And even if you get the old brass stuff that used to be high, we used to consider it being expensive. It's not as expensive as it used to be, but it's still not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we try not to let the wife know how much they cost.
Yeah, she'll sell them for what you told her.
I told my kids, I said, I'm making a list of everything I got and what I paid for it. So you can always sell it for more than this for each one, So don't let anybody come in here and lowball you saying, oh, I give you $500, for the whole thing. Nope, don't do that.
Dennis, his wife is right beside him. Sorry, Dennis. Yeah, I just told my son, I said, okay, when something happens to me, it's your problem.
There you go.
You can sell it, you can keep it, I don't care, but I'm not going to have to worry about it. So,
yeah, once you're gone.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it seems like it's that way with any hobby, though. Because I think we've talked about this before in other shows. It's the finite clientele that they have. They've only got so many people that get into that at any one time. And so that tends to drive prices up quite a bit. But especially during the pandemic, I know prices went crazy on eBay for narrow gauge stuff, especially. But I saw all kinds of art, hobby stuff. The prices started getting up, or you couldn't find it. It was one or the other, because everybody was stuck at home. So they were doing stuff they'd always wanted to do it, never had time to do it.
Well, I don't know about HO, but N-Scale on eBay, you might as well buy something new. I mean, buying something used is not that much less than brand new.
You have to really, if you're on eBay, you really have to shop it. You have to know what it's worth and what it is. But like, I was talking about the stuff being scarce. I know the first thing we noticed in the grocery store was yeast on the baking aisle was gone. And, everybody started, I got time to bake now. So all the yeast was gone. It took them forever to get yeast back in stock.
And in the grocery stores around here now, there's like no, like salads, like salad greens, just empty. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Well, of course, now a lot of it is shipping. They're getting it from the plant to the customers is all screwed up now. So I know my wife before she retired was trucking having pipe trucked and she said you could get the trucks, you couldn't get the drivers. There weren't any drivers. And so that was the big problem with her part of it, which I'm sure is the same across the board on delivering and stuff.
Now you guys are talking about eBay. I see guys buying stuff off of eBay and they say, I got these great deals. I mean, I don't know what they search because I'm on eBay and I just see ridiculous costs for this stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying that for that,
Well, in my case, it's narrow gauge stuff, which a lot of it, like if I buy something micro trains used to make narrow gauge cars, rolling stock, and I've got some, and I don't think I paid more than $20 for any of them, but I had to search for them because so many of them were a lot more than that, and you just had to get lucky to get one or find one that was buy it now and get it then, but those aren't made anymore. And just like the update I did yesterday, I did a icing platform that made by Suncoast Models. They're not in business anymore. It's a great model. I didn't pay a whole lot for it, but it was what I needed. It was the right size for what I wanted, and it fit my layout. So I bought it, but I bought it 2 years ago before prices started going up. That's the other thing. I haven't had to buy a lot of stuff here lately, thank goodness.
Lehigh, it says Maine is shipping 35 loaded reefers with potatoes for the first time in 40 years. That's crazy.
Say that again. Shipping what?
Potatoes. Maine is shipping 35 loaded reefers with potatoes for the first time in 40 years.
I didn't know they grew potatoes up there.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's it is that way. It's that way with everything, and it just drove prices up on a lot of stuff. And of course, we won't get into all the other reasons right now that it's going up. But I know 2 years ago, all my locomotives, I didn't pay retail that they were asking retail at that time for them. And they were all out of production. So they should have been going up more then. And I still got them cheaper than what retail was when they first came out. So now they're all $200-$300 more than what I paid.
Wouldn't it be cool to see loaded unit reefer trains now instead of double stacks all the time? Go back to unit reefers like the EP and the SP did years ago.
I'm just happy to see any train. Where I'm at, the closest tracks to me are probably 45, 50 miles.
Steve Anderson says he doesn't see good deals on eBay. HO vehicles, especially RPS trucks, are out of their minds. Well, yeah, right now, and like I say, I haven't bought a lot of stuff off of eBay here lately. And what I have bought is from people that I bought from before, and it's those prices that are on stuff I bought, like lights and stuff like that, haven't gone up. But I know a lot of rolling stock, track, all that kind of stuff is getting crazy.
Yeah, track is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wasn't buying any track, but I was looking at some switches because I was thinking about making a change. And one curve switch is like, I was seeing $45 for a curve switch. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's the same. I was doing the same thing. I was buying Shinohara and excuse me, and Walthers. I had a couple of Walthers turnouts, big curve turnouts for the standard gauge, and they were all $45. And I got to thinking, I got to looking at Fast Tracks, and I thought, the jig is $110, but I can build lots and lots of turnouts with one jig, which I can't do. You can't do that if you're buying them all commercially.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of how much you need for something like that to work out. Plus, I like building them. I factor that in too. But yeah, the turnouts, especially anymore, can get really high.
Oh, I got a question for anybody that may know the answer. Even on Scenic Express, we mostly get the Martin Wellberg Scenic stuff. Did that guy go out of business or something happened to him that there's no product anymore? He's not putting any product out.
Who was it again?
Martin Wellberg Scenic materials, because he doesn't. He makes really good stuff, but now it's like there's out of stock and no date when it may show up. They have, like, says no date. Wow.
Well, I've bought stuff from Scenic Express, but I don't know that particular name. So I'm assuming that's a brand that he carried at Scenic Express. Yeah. Yeah. It may have not been something I was after at the time. So I can't answer your question. Somebody else might be able to.
Just a general question for anybody know about that company.
Where did I see that question? Somebody asked me a question. Sometimes the chat goes by faster than I can keep up with.
Yeah, I'm with Dave. Maybe you should start selling stuff while the market's hot.
Oh, Dennis wanted to know where I get my track. Dennis, I get my rail. At least the code 40 I just recently got for the mining district that I'm going to put up in the mining district. I got from Fast Tracks. The bad thing about Fast Tracks now is here in the last year, the shipping doubled. The shipping's crazy. So unless you're getting enough product where they'll ship it for free, you're going to pay almost as much for shipping as you are getting for the product. But my rail, the rest of my rail, I do have some Flex Track I got on eBay, and I got 34 lengths of 3-foot Flex Track, Micro Engineering code 70. I got it for $70.
Anybody need
I bought that just because the price was so good. I couldn't believe that auction actually ended with that good a price on it. And I got lucky.
Code 70 rail, I got a ton of it. I'll never use it.
Code 70? I thought it was code 100 you had.
I got code 100 too. I got a lot of code 70 too.
Well, I didn't know you had code 70. But anyway, that's where I get it. That's where I got most of mine, Dennis. And most of my upper level will be Flex Track that I've got now. I won't probably be using it all. I can't imagine using that much footage, but I got lucky and got it on eBay. But my rail, a lot of the just regular rail that I build track turnouts and stuff with, I usually get it off eBay, but I look for good prices. Yeah. I find out what the retail is on it, and I'll go put a bid on something or find a cheap buy it now, and that's how I do it. But you have to be patient with eBay. If it's something that is plentiful, just be patient and you'll find it at a decent price at some point.
Yeah. Ian was asking me if I ever thought about Hanley and switches. I thought about it and I quickly unthought about it. It was just something something I just didn't feel like trying to learn how to do. I got this hobby is cause it's making me learn how to do too many things, and I didn't want to add another thing to it.
Oh, here's Dennis has got an answer maybe to your question. He had a YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out Boomer Dioramas, you should. He explains the process of how to make some of the things Martin Wahlberg does.
Oh yeah.
So that actually didn't answer your question,
No.
but it's,
I mean, yeah, so, I'm subscribed to Boomer. I watch him, and that guy's an expert and seems like in everything he does. So
let's see. I'm trying to find out, see if anybody else is. Nobody else has said anything about him. So yeah, Dennis says he gets his track from Harris Hobbies in Texas. I believe he's in Athens, Texas, I think, is where Harris Hobbies is. But yeah, Dennis is right. He's usually got pretty good prices there. So if you're needing something like track, he has a lot of other stuff too, but look him up. It could be a good place to find stuff.
Where's Athens, Texas?
It's down kind of by Tyler, Texas. Waco, Texas, not Waco. Waco's too far south.
Okay, it won't
be. The
reason I asked because I'm gonna be out in Temple next month too. That's where my son is.
Yeah, well, it's not too far from there.
Okay.
So look it up. Yeah. I don't know if he's before you go over there. I don't know if he's got people coming in the shop or not. So you want to, you might want to ask him. Anthony,
what was the name again? What was the name of that place?
Harris Hobbies.
Harris.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have a pen or a pencil. Oh. Okay.
Jerry Satterley says Martin Wahlberg still seems to be around. Maybe find a new supplier to buy from.
Okay.
Yeah, I may have to ask some of the suppliers if they deal with them. I'll have to check into that. I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
Or not that I remembered hearing about. Ali says, "Oh, the problem is Australian stuff isn't plentiful. Some people buy 2 or 3 of the locals and wait till they sell out and put them up for exorbitant prices." Yeah, well, that's one reason I bought that batch of Flex Track, even though I wasn't really planning on using Flex Track at the time because I was handling everything. I thought that's too good a price to pass up. It was less than half price for that stuff. And I thought I can always turn around and sell small batches back on eBay and make my money back. Yeah. So not that I would try to get huge stuff, but Dennis says almost all his scenery is Martin Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Wow. So we need to find out from Dennis where he's getting his.
Yep.
So cough it up, Dennis. Where you getting?
Yeah, he's not going to tell us.
Yeah. Come on, Dennis.
Does anybody else have questions for Anthony? Since we're getting down to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we only got about 10 minutes left. 11 minutes, something like that.
Everybody's talking about selling on eBay.
Yeah. Well, like I say, with eBay, you just have to be patient and look. You don't just. It's kind of like buying at Sam's Club. I don't know if you guys got Sam's Club on the East Coast, Anthony, but they're, yeah. And because it's big box and everybody thinks, oh, it's cheaper. No, half the time you can go into the Walmart just down the street from the Sam's, the same stuff in a decent quantity. You don't have to buy a truckload of it, and you get it at less money. But people don't bother to shop. That's the thing.
Yeah, Dennis says he gets it at Scenic Express, same place I've been getting it. That's the only
It's been a while.
It's the only place I found that sells it.
Dwight wants to know: do you eat Doritos?
Like Doritos? Nope. I mean, I eat Doritos, but I don't buy that stuff. Puts on too much weight. I don't need it.
What about red licorice or black licorice?
Nah.
Neither one. I'll eat either one. That's the problem.
Oh, I do
Are
too.
you willing to share what?
Your MOS. MOS.
Oh,
I should know what that means.
I know it. Yeah. No. I am not an Army vet. I know. I've been trying to tell people I probably shouldn't wear this stuff because people think I'm an Army vet. No, it's my son. My son's a lieutenant in the Army, and so. But I support all the armed services. I work for the Navy. My dad was in the Marines. I mean, and my a bunch of cousins and stuff. I was talking to them earlier. All my cousins that are older than me, they all were in Vietnam. And so, but fortunately, nobody was killed. I mean, they were injured, so mentally and physically, but nobody died. So I'm an armed service guy all the way. So
yeah. See, it's like me. I was getting ready to go down to register for the draft, and I was turning 18 April 15th, 1975. Well, they stopped the draft on April 1st, and so I never did. But my eyesight was as bad then as it is now, so I don't know if they would have taken me right away anyway. But
I was either going in the Coast Guard or Canada. I was sweating bullets too.
Yeah. I was going into the Air Force. I had applied for the Air Force Academy, and I was accepted, and I wanted to be a pilot, and had to take all these exams, and they flunked me on the physical because when I was a junior in high school, I had an ulcer, and they thought the stress of becoming a pilot might be too much for me, and I might develop those problems again. And so they flunked me on the physical. And so I decided to go play football in Cincinnati.
Banner,
there you go.
Know what secret stuff you're working on?
Huh?
Someone wants to know what secret stuff you're working on.
No, we'll just leave it at that. I cannot talk about what I work on and what I do.
Sorry about the dogs barking. I told you somebody would probably ask something you didn't want to answer.
No.
Hey, you got Gus's attention. Gus hears the dogs barking.
Oh, did you hear him barking?
Oh,
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. He's like, what? Yep, those are dogs.
I've got two that are right here by the front door, and as soon as they think they hear something outside, they go crazy. Dennis said for some reason he had it in his mind you were a civilian contractor. Most of those are former military.
Nah, I am a government employee, but I mean, I didn't grow up being a government employee. I worked for, in civilian life for GE and Pratt & Whitney, doing aircraft engine design most of my career. So I only started working for the government in 2008.
Joe Rader says he reported to the Air Force the day before my draft notice showed up. Hey, well, there you go, Oh, here we go. John wants to know what's your favorite freight car?
Favorite freight car? I have a lot of wood chip hoppers because that is what I saw. That was a big industry in the South where I grew up in Georgia. So I say my favorite freight cars are wood chip hoppers right now and lumber cars, even though I do like tank cars also.
And then Rob T-Man says, how many trains can you run by yourself at the same time?
I've only done 2. I don't try and do any more than 2 by myself. Yeah.
What's your least favorite freight car?
Least favorite?
Least favorite freight car.
I would say, and some people probably not like this because they have a lot of them. Intermodal. Intermodal trains are boring to me. I don't know why, but they are.
Yeah.
Well, see, on the same vein, I kind of like the piggyback cars, which were the precursor to the intermodal stuff. Mm-hmm. To me, those were much more interesting because it seemed like you got a lot more variation on trailers going by. If you're sitting there watching them go by than you do with intermodal stuff. It's all the same.
Yeah, mixed freights are my favorite.
Yeah. I love passenger trains because I got to ride on the Santa Fe when I was young. But yeah, I always liked the F units pulling the sleek passenger trains. But and it was a lot of fun to ride on one. But I do like those mixed freights too.
Yeah, the intermodals and the those long tank car trains are just boring to me,
Oh, here they go.
What is that? Yeah, Allie says don't drop any more trucks on Gus. Yeah.
Don't.
Well, Anthony, it kind of goes back. I got some big 1.5-inch scale trucks that I had on one of these stands when I first got them, and Gus was right at the end of the stand and had one roll off and landed right next to him. Scared the crap out of him. Thank God it didn't land on him because the thing weighs 25 pounds. Weighs as much as he did.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been good had it hit him.
No.
Okay, we've got 4 minutes left, people. If you've got any other questions for Anthony. Digger says he worked similar thing for Rolls-Royce jet engines.
Well, Digger, I'll tell you, Rolls-Royce is my least favorite manufacturer to work with.
Oops. Okay, here's another question. Anthony, do you have a projected finish date for the railroad at current rate of creation? See, Dennis is too structured.
I know,
he's way too structured for me.
I do not have a projected finish date because working on my railroad comes in spurts. I mean, I may go 2 weeks and not be able to do anything because of work and other things, and then I may go 2 or 3 days and I'll just do a bunch of stuff. So I mean, it's just, it's relaxing to do it, and so I don't even think about finishing. I just think about working on it and doing stuff with it. That's it.
How about passenger trains? John Tenzel and I had the same question. Any passenger equipment?
I don't have any passenger equipment. No.
No. Well, Bernard says he likes the F units. He got a ride on a lot of them coming out of pulling the California Zephyr.
But if I do the passenger train, I have been thinking about trying to do the Southern Crescent. If I can find some, green E8s that's not exorbitantly priced, and find some the passenger cars that goes with it. So,
well, like I say, you have to be patient, and you find them on eBay, find them in other places too. Train shows is one of the better places, I think, to find stuff. The only problem is around here you don't have any, so makes it tough. Okay. Rob.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. After the show, head to the store and stock up on snow supplies, Anthony.
Real quick.
It's hilarious that people are panicking. You go to the store, there's no bread, no milk, and no bags of potatoes. It's like, I don't get it. What?
It's not like it's never snowed there before, you know?
Yeah. White's got a quick question. Do you know how to fly?
Do I know how to fly?
Yeah.
Yes. I have flown. I have flown plane before.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
I always wanted to fly.
I always wanted to learn how to fly.
Yeah. My wife wouldn't let me go in a small aircraft, so we got in one time. My brother-in-law was in the Air Force, and he was in a club with some guys that had a small plane. He took us to see some people skydiving, and so we flew from this airport his plane was at to this little used airport that they flew the skydiving stuff off of. Well, he took off in this Cessna, probably a 152, 182, something like that, and does a 180, stands it up on the wing and does a 180. Well, she's on the left back seat and just freaked her out. She doesn't mind airliners, but she doesn't like little airplanes.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind me telling a quick story, sort of a bragging story a little bit, but anyway, my brother's retired Navy, and he was stationed at Oceana in Norfolk, and I came to visit him one Christmas when I used to live in Ohio, and for my Christmas present, I don't know how he pulled this off, but he got me into an F-14 simulator. I think it's General Dynamics used to run those.
Oh, nice.
I got into an F-14 simulator and flying F-14s. So the first couple of times I get going off the, you simulate going off the carrier, taking off the land. The first time I did crash. I'm not going to tell you I crashed. But after that, I got the hang of it. And so I was in that thing for probably 2 hours. And it was, and the guy kept throwing up all kind of weird simulations at me. And I got out of the thing, and he says, "Are you a pilot? Are you a Navy pilot?" I'm like, "No." He told me I scored higher than 80% of the Navy pilots that come through there. I was so surprised, Yeah, I was like, I knew I missed my calling, Yeah.
Well, it was great to have you on the show, Anthony. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
and
thank you. Glad to be here, man.
You want to come on again sometime, just let me know, and we'll have you on again.
Pop on
Right.
sometime if you're working on your layout and we're out on the beans.
What'd you say, Steve? Say it again.
Yeah, if you ever want to be on a beans that we do, if you're ever working on your layout and you want to join a beans, that'd be cool too.
So when do you guys do the beans? I don't remember ever seeing anything for that.
Whenever when we feel like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we kind of know ahead of time we're going to have time to do it, and because I've got to set it up and take the laptop upstairs and get everything kind of set up so I can run it from up there, because I can't just do it on my phone. I can't see all the stuff that's on StreamYard, the chat and stuff on the phone. So I have to be able to have a little bit of time to be able to get that up there. But yeah, we just do it, whenever we feel like it, or whenever we have time.
Yeah. So yeah, you're welcome to come back anytime.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me. But don't want to bore the guys seeing the same person on all the time.
We see them all the time. Yeah. If they haven't gotten bored with us, then they wouldn't get bored with you. Trust me. Well, anyway, guys, that's our hour. Actually, we're a little bit over, but that's okay too. Everybody have a great week, weekend, and next week. And thanks for showing up. And again, Anthony, thank you.
Another great show.
And everybody have a good one. We'll see you later.
See you Saturday.
Okay.
Bye.